So it's no secret that I'm a big fan of British Petroleum. In fact, BP stock is one of my favourite stocks of all time, but they just announced earnings and, well, it wasn't good, and the stock price has been reflecting that over the last few days. My previous videos have been getting a little bit more traction than usual, and people have been actively commenting on there saying, is BP still a good buy? Am I still in? Am I looking to add? Or am I selling or looking to sell? In this video, a very quick one, I just wanted to give you my latest thoughts on British Petroleum stock, and am I looking at buying or selling BP stock? And the only way to see if I am buying or selling BP, boys and girls, is to lube yourselves up to the eyelids and dive right in, because BP is getting its third STI. So as always, before we get into this, the boring disclaimers. I am not a qualified financial advisor in the area you are living, so you must make your own investment decisions, and I hold no responsibility for profits or losses on advice that you get from this channel. And if you are new here, please do support the channel by subscribing and turning on the bell, and do me the kindest of kind favors by going down and making sure that like button is turned blue. It massively helps me out and it'd be much appreciated. If you want to support the channel even further, there's a Patreon link down in the description where you can get some exclusive perks, including our chat room and WhatsApp group. And if you're not from the US or Canada, because you guys are quite frankly banned from trading most stocks, you can sign up with eTORO on the pinned comment, sign up, deposit, make one simple trade, and you get free lifetime access to the LWT investing chat room. Okay, British Petroleum stock, or BP stock, or whatever other tickers it goes under on the US exchange. But British Petroleum is one of my favorite companies of all time, quite frankly because it is easy to trade and invest in. The fact that it pays a solid dividend and it is a good, well-managed company historically, I just love the damn thing. That said, it is a sort of semi-cyclical trader, and if you time your entries in, it's a very, very easy and safe investment. Now, fundamentally, if you want to know more on BP, I strongly suggest you go and check out these videos up there, because in this video, it's more about my opinion and why I think this little dip on BP could be a very good opportunity. Now, firstly, BP, why is it down? Well, quite frankly, they reported a massive loss. A loss that's expected, but actually came in a lot worse than estimates. Of course, it's no secret oil is taking a damn beating out there, with world travel being limited. It's, pretty damn simple that oil is going to be affected. And BP is no exemption to that rule. And it gets a little bit worse than that, because BP rarely takes a loss. In fact, this is the first loss it's taken in over a decade. That's right, 10 years. Mr. Looney, Bernie Looney, the top guy there, is quite shocked and a bit disappointed, and of course is announcing the struggles. In fact, Mr. Looney goes on to say, it's been a tough final quarter in an already tough year, upon which he has never seen in his 30-year oil career. And to add insult to injury, BP was forced to write off a whopping $6.5 billion US. So how can BP recover from this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Even though you didn't really ask, I know that's what you're thinking. Mind tricks. Well, quite frankly, BP is a British company. Of course, British Petroleum. But they are worldwide, and as the world moves more and more into renewables and away from oil, well, that could be a bad thing for British Petroleum, right? Not necessarily. BP is actually one of the leaders when it comes to renewable energies, and I think they will be at the forefront on Boris Johnson in the UK's big avalanche of investment when it comes to green energy. In fact, BP are really pushing the zero carbon emissions, and more importantly, really pushing their wind farms and other renewable projects. So I think BP long term, and by long term I'm talking a 10-year period, will completely change its business model and be less reliant on oil as it is today. And that said, looking at the chart, we've seen BP pretty much bottom out. In fact, my average on screen now is pretty damn good, and I'm quite reluctant to ruin that average. But that said, I am actively looking at a position, and I think if we get below that 250 mark, I'd strongly have a look at investing a little bit more exposure into BP. And I'm sure you're thinking, why, if you've got loads of exposure to this company? Well, quite frankly, I've bought into Bernard Looney's plan when it comes to transforming BP into a future renewable company. In fact, you could argue BP is already a renewable energy company, because as I said in these videos up there, I'm pointing again, do already produce a hell of a lot of renewable energy. And I think as that business model grows, BP will grow with them. Bearing in mind that oil will still be a massive thing in the world economy, this is a definite infinite energy source, and I think BP will capitalize on it. In the meantime, while we're waiting, BP is paying a massive dividend too, and as long as that continues, I have got no worries waiting in BP and just taking my damn dividend every quarter. So for me, quite frankly, I'm looking for massive dips, hopefully on some semi-negative news where I can add to my position, but I do need it to come down a little bit more. If you're currently looking at investing in BP and you want advice, well, firstly, you should be speaking to a financial advisor and paying them a lot more money than someone on YouTube. But I think BP could be a good opportunity at any price below the 250 mark for a starter entry. Ideally, we want this stock to go as low as possible and pick up as much as possible at the lows. We now have a solid risk point and it is still quite far away, but I am hoping that it does go down to them lows and we can buy and just enjoy that damn dividend until, well, as the game stoppers would say, moon, YOLO, ape strong, diamond hands, is that yeah, diamond hands, and some other crazy stuff I've seen on Reddit. But BP is a solid investment for me. It doesn't mean it is for you, and you should definitely do your own due diligence. But if you are watching this video, I'd like to know your thoughts. Can you let me know down in the comments if you're already in BP, or you're looking at selling BP, or if you're just not interested in BP? That's a lot of BPs. If you've made it this far in the video, I'd also like you to comment the code word, which is SPUDGUN. Bit of a random one. And while you're there, please do double check that that like button is turned blue. Subscribe, turn on the bell. That's my thoughts on British petroleum stock. Don't panic. The world is not ending. In fact, I think it's actually the opposite. I'm very happy and hope it comes down even further so I can pick me up some more BP oil or BP renewable energy. BP renewable energy doesn't sound as good as BP oil, does it? I don't know, man. What am I doing, huh?